This is ABTV, Animal Bites Television.
Hey guys, it's Jason Miller here from 5 Weird Animal Facts. Today is going to be a bit different than my usual show. I'm going to give you an update on my animal room, show you what's new in my collection, and kind of update you on how much a lot of my stuff has grown, etc. Because if you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm always getting new bugs and stuff like that because I have a problem. I feel the emotional void in my life with bugs. And it's a serious psychological issue that I'm going to feed by showing you my animals. So let's experience that together, huh? Quick update on Daisy. She is still hairless, and she is about the same size as last time you saw her. And she is also she's still a rat. And she likes to climb on stuff, and she pees on me occasionally. That's about it. So let's look at the amphibians and the reptiles and the bugs and everything like that, and it'll be an adventure that we go on together here in my beautiful animal room. Yeah. She peed on my couch. Alright, let's start this off with my buddy Cujo, the African bullfrog, also known as the pixie frog. Oh, he's gotten a little... There was no need for me to make that sound. He's not actually that heavy. He has gotten a little bit bigger since the last time I showed him, and I am more confident now that it is in fact a he because he's losing that stripe along his back, which the males do, and the females tend to keep it. And he's also looking a bit more yellowy on his stomach compared to the females, who remain more of a cream colored under their belly. Eating a lot, like pixie frogs tend to do. They're big pigs. Look at that face, though. For real. African bullfrogs are the second largest frog species in the world, behind the Goliath frog. I have heard rumors that they can get up to 5 pounds, but 2.5 pounds is much more common of a full-grown size for an adult male. Like many frogs and toads will do, they will kind of puff up a little bit if you irritate them, but he's actually being surprisingly calm right now. Generally, don't hold amphibians. They have skin that absorbs water, oxygen, pretty much anything that their skin comes in contact with, and the oils on your skin can be very harmful for them. So it's not a good idea to hold them too often. I hold this guy only when I'm filming him, or if I need to take him out to clean his cage or something. But he's doing great, man. He's doing real good. He's still at that size where he's afraid of me instead of trying to bite me when I put my hand in his cage, which is fantastic. African bullfrogs make fantastic pets. If you want something kind of exotic that gets big but doesn't really like being handled and doesn't move around too much, this is the way to go. What are you trying to do, homie? Because... And we're done with the bullfrog. Up next are my little buddies here, the fire-bellied toads. I have 5 of them. If you'll remember, I raised them from tadpoles, which was a really fun experience. And something everybody should do, just to watch the miracle of metamorphosis is such a fascinating thing. But anyway, enough science. Let's see if I can grab one of these guys, because they have grown quite a bit. Mostly because they eat anything and everything that I put in front of them. He's so tiny, man. They're still so tiny, even though they're bigger than they used to be, because that's how growing works. I've said it before and I'll say it again, even though these guys are so common in the pet trade, I still love them and think that they make incredible pets. They are absolutely gorgeous with the bright greens and oranges and yellows, and they're super easy to care for. They're eating machines, and yeah, they thrive in room temperature, so they're great for anyone who can't, like, afford anything super elaborate. And they're constantly moving around, which I really like. Most amphibians, frogs especially, they'll just kind of sit around all day. And that's not the case with these guys. They'll really move around their enclosure and explore and swim and walk. And they're very, very cheap. So they're a great pet to have. So the next ones I'm going to show you are the newest vertebrates in my collection. And I just fell in love with them from the second that I saw them. You guys know how much I love colubrids. They are rough green snakes. They are oh, Jesus, come on. I've been working out. Ladies. The thing with rough green snakes, I wouldn't normally get them because they are, for the most part, caught in the wild, which I'm not a huge fan of. But these are so small that I'm pretty convinced that they were captive bred. I might be wrong, but I just saw these little faces and I had to bring one home. They're just too cute. I named them Mamba and Boomslang. I got 2 of them. And I did just drop one, but I caught it, so it's okay. They will almost never bite. These are one of the least aggressive snakes out there, but they are still pretty wiggly. And they're delicate when they're this small. So again, not recommending handling them until they get full size. And their full size is only about 2 feet, which is fantastic. These guys stay smaller than most garter snakes. And that is, you know, if you have a dorm room or something that allows reptiles, this is probably the perfect snake to get because they stay small. And my favorite thing, they eat insects their entire lives. They don't eat mice. They don't eat lizards. These guys are strictly insectivores. So I'm feeding them pinhead crickets right now because they are still so small. Rule of thumb with any snake, don't really feed it anything that's larger than the largest point in their body. But it's so much fun to watch these guys chase down crickets because like most snakes are just kind of sit and wait predators. These guys will actively chase a cricket around their enclosure, which I love. So yeah, he's wiggling. He doesn't really like me holding him too much. But again, like he'll do kind of like the thing that hognoses do, where they just kind of push their faces up against you and not even bite or open their mouth, and just kind of like push up against you. And okay, I'll put you back. God. Even if you were to bite me, I probably wouldn't even feel it because he's so tiny. But these guys, I've heard, don't usually do too well in captivity. So you have to really try and mimic their natural environment as best as possible, which I try to do. I have mostly live plants in here and very high humidity, forced floor bedding, a UV lamp because they do require UV. They're one of those few snakes that do require UV. And a heat pad in the back just to kind of mimic their environment. They're found in southeastern United States, so Florida, they're very common. Yeah, man, I love them. I can't wait for them to get bigger so I can put them in a bigger enclosure. I think that when the vine snake gets his new place, I'm going to put these two into the vine snake's old enclosure so they'll have plenty of room to grow and climb around. Because they are, I'll call it semi-arboreal, because they do like to climb a lot, but they will stay fairly low to the ground. Really fantastic, beautiful little animals. So now let's move on to the animals that I have most of, and that is invertebrates. I had to bring a whole nother bookshelf over here and fill it with enclosures because I was running out of space on this one. Alright, so up next is one of my newer invertebrates. I just got him probably 2 or 3 months ago. And he is an African twig mantis. Very elaborate setup I have here. When you think of praying mantises, you probably think of tropical species. But in fact, these guys love low humidity and no humidity at all. The only moisture that they get is from their food, so I don't spray the enclosure down ever. That would do more harm than good. Look at how cool that is. I love mantids, man. These are the assassins of the insect world. I don't know what that little tail waggle thing he's doing is. They're so funny. Their antennae are always doing this too, constantly. Like even when the rest of their body is completely still, it almost breaks their camouflage that their antennae are always moving around. They're very aware of their environment. Look, he's looking right at the camera. You might see his reflection actually in the lens. I'm sorry, we seem to be having technical difficulties. That's kind of cool, right? Boom. Let's do the rest of the show like that with this mantis silhouette. That is freaking awesome. I'm going to take a picture of that. Alright, so a while ago at the White Plains, New York Reptile Expo, I got this guy, which I'm about to very carefully dump onto this table here. Whoa! There she is! Oh, it's so gnarly. This is the larva. Oh, that's strong! Holy crap. This is the larva of an Eastern Hercules beetle. Look at that thing, dude. Oh, it's so gross. I'm sorry. All right, anyway. Dude, it just, did we get that on film? Did we get it on film just taking a crap on my table? How does that make you feel about life, knowing that this exists? When these guys are full grown, they look really beautiful. After they metamorphose, go through the larval stage, turn into full grown beetles. They're a nice speckled yellow, and I'll put a picture of that up right here. It's so creepy. I keep losing my train of thought because I'm looking at it. When I bought this, the guy who was selling him said that it would metamorphose pupate in about 3 months, and it's been about 4 or 5 months now since he said that. So he's due to pupate, and after he pupates, that should take another 9 months before he emerges as a beetle. So it could be like near the middle of 2016 before I actually see this guy turn into a beetle. Then oh! Let's think about the fact that this is the only show on the internet where you watch grubs poop onto a table. Oh, okay. It did just bite me. Oh, man. Ow. I'm off my game now. This thing threw me off. The second I dumped it on the table, this video was turned bad. That actually really hurt. Come here. It just projectile pooped out. I'm done. I'm putting this thing away. It just shot poop at me, and it bit me. I'm done. Next up is an animal that I'm definitely going to try my best not to be bitten by, because it could hurt way more than that stupid f***ing grub would. There's an art to picking up centipedes that I have down to a science, as you can see. Whoa, there we go. Alright guys, this is what I believe to be Scolopendra heros, one of the largest species of centipede out there, native to southern United States. When he's full grown, he's going to have pretty much a dark blue body and a bright red head. Please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall, please don't fall. Look at that. Beautiful. Carnivore, like all centipedes are. What's really interesting about centipedes is they're the only animal that have modified front legs to inject venom. Those mouth parts that you see are actually front legs that have been modified over time. And I'm not sure, again, if it is in fact Scolopendra heros, the red-headed centipede, because a lot of Scolopendra species look very, very similar when they're younger. People have told me it might be something different, but I'm not entirely sure. I hope it's a Scolopendra heros because they're beautiful when they're full grown. I'll put a picture of one right here. Alright guys, so next up I'm going to show you my giant cave cockroach. Look at how cool that is, man. That is massive. This is the largest species of cockroach out there. I don't know if it's the largest out there, but it's definitely the largest that you can find in captivity. Cockroaches are incredibly low maintenance depending on the species. But for this guy, all my roaches actually, I mix up crushed up dog food, fish food, and Pangea fruit mix for the day gecko. And I mix those three things up, and that gives them all the nutrition that they need. There's this stigma against cockroaches, which I find pretty unfair, is that they will infest your home and eat everything you care about. And that's only true for like 3 or 4 species in the world. The ones that you find infesting your home are not this. They're not the dubia roaches that I keep. I have a breeding colony in this tub here to feed my animals. I have like 5 orange-head cockroaches for pets, and I have this, obviously, this big guy here. And they're all tropical species, so they need temperatures of above 85 to 90 degrees in order to even grow and breed. And those 3 species that I have also can't climb smooth surfaces. So like this plastic tub, the plastic terrarium I keep these ones in, they can't climb them. They can only climb, the cork bark that I have in there, or the egg crates that I use for their breeding colony. And lastly, unless you keep garbage and fruits and crap rotting on your floors, they won't have a food source to infest your house. And they're pretty smart. They'll know if there's not a food source, they won't reproduce. Even if, okay, let's say your house has an average temperature of 90 degrees, and you just let 10 or 20 of these go just in your house and let them run around and be free. You'd have to be living in a dumpster for these guys to reproduce successfully because they need a constant food source. And since they can't climb smooth surfaces, getting into your cabinets is going to be very difficult for them. So it's very unrealistic to think that keeping roaches will result in an infestation. It's not even unrealistic, it's just plain not true. They're very fascinating animals, they're incredible survivors, and I find them absolutely beautiful. Especially, look at the pattern on that thing, man. The size and the pattern. And I'll tell you what, the reason I'm defending cockroaches so much is because my mom is terrified of them. She's okay with snakes, she's okay with the tarantulas now. She is terrified of cockroaches. So hopefully when she sees this video and finds out that they're in her house, she'll be okay with it. Probably not. I might not have these by next week, but we'll see. Ooh, you're quick, huh? What are you doing? Where are you going? Look, it's my parrot. Say hi to my parrot, guys. His name's Crackers. I don't know why I'm single. All right, this next one's really cool. So you see that? It's just a bucket of sand, right? Nothing there? What if I do that, huh? There we go. Woo-hoo-hoo. Right here is one of the most venomous spiders on the planet. This is the six-eyed sand spider. There haven't been any studies done on their effect on humans, but they have done studies on the venom's effect on mice, and it's pretty brutal. A bite from this guy could definitely send me to the hospital, and some say they could potentially be deadly. You'll notice he was buried in the sand before, and they'll use their front legs to dig a little hole for themselves, which they'll get into, and then they'll cover their body with sand, and then cover their legs in sand, and sit and wait for bugs to walk over, and then they'll put out a surprise attack. Look at that. So gnarly. Alright guys, these are my last new bugs that I'm going to show you. I got a colony of 7 Vietnamese stick insects. And before I take one out and show you, I just want to explain the cage setup a little bit here first. These guys, a part of their diet is ivy. The majority of their diet, they can just survive on ivy alone. So I got some ivy from my local garden shop, made sure it was pesticide free because otherwise it could kill them. Got some bamboo stakes for them to climb up and also for the plant to climb up. And ivy is very fast growing, so it will replenish itself as the stick bugs are eating it, unless I end up with too many. But they will also eat kale, lettuce, most leafy greens. Every species is different though, so always do your research beforehand. This enclosure here is just a butterfly habitat that I repurposed, and I think I repurposed it for something even cooler than butterflies. I love this design, nerding out over the design of the butterfly enclosure. The front is plastic so you can see them, because that's always been my biggest beef with these like net enclosures, is it's hard to see stuff. So the plastic in the front so you can see what you're looking at, and then the netting around the side so there's good ventilation. I really like that design. But anyway, let's take one of these guys out. And there it is. Look at that. Look at how cool that thing is. You'll notice one of his front legs is missing, and a couple of them have that issue. There's some legs missing, some antenna missing, etc. And that's actually no problem because they will grow back in their next molt. Not quite full grown yet. They'll get about 5 inches or so when full grown. And what's interesting is with captive Vietnamese stick insects, all of them are female. So they reproduce asexually, so without a partner. So that's very good because that means that when these guys are full grown, I have 7 of them in here, they'll start dropping fertilized eggs on their own. But I think that's so fascinating. So they'll drop a bunch of eggs, and then I just basically leave the eggs alone. They'll hatch, little baby versions of this will pop out, and I'll have a nice colony started here. Stick bugs are cool, man. I couldn't say no to this. I saw them at an expo. There were 7 of them in a little cup for $10, and I'm like, yeah, no, I need it. Vietnamese stick insects are so easy to care for and just so fascinating. I really hope that they get bigger in the pet industry eventually once people realize that they're so easy to care for. Because the thing is, with most stick bugs, they have very specific diets. They only eat one kind of leaf from one kind of tree found somewhere far away. But these ones, it's different. They have a much more relaxed diet. So I'll start reproducing them, and that's how I plan to make my millions. Alright, I know how much you guys love watching me almost get bitten in the face by Groot, so I'm going to end the show with him. We'll see if he's in a good mood today. Probably not. But yeah, Jade, my other vine snake, unfortunately did pass away not too long ago. But he's still nice, strong, and healthy. He's eating really well. And he'll be getting a brand new enclosure very soon that's going to be a lot bigger. Because I love giving my snakes as much space as possible. Alright, buddy. I know you don't like me. Oh! Looks me right in the dead in the face as soon as I open the thing. Got you. Whoop! No, I don't. Oh, you suck. I swear to God, if you jump out, I'm going to be upset. Come on, dude. Work with me here. Yeah, okay. There we go. There we go. There we go. Oh, man. It's been a minute since I took you out. I forgot how big he got. Don't you dare, buddy. You son of a gun. Alright. Whew! Who's a pretty boy? Just making sure he is not, because he's planning stuff, man. He thinks, he's got a brain, he thinks about things. Here, I'm gonna relax just a little bit, but not too much, because when I relax too much, that's when he darts. He's actually calmed down quite a bit. He still has that tongue out though, and that is the telltale sign that he's unhappy. But he stopped puffing out. I'm trying to decide whether or not I should take the hook away, because he's done this before where like he's calmed down, then I put the hook away, and then he strikes. So I'm not sure if I trust him quite enough to put the hook down. What do you think? Just move very, very slowly. If you move too quick, they get nervous. Calm down, buddy. I just need him to stop essing up like that. Then I'll trust him enough that he's not going to strike. See, he has calmed down for sure since I last picked him up, but oh my god, hold on. What are you doing? I can read him pretty well at this point. He was planning some bull crap. These guys have so much personality. How can you not love? I don't care how you... I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I don't care how much you hate snakes. You can't look at this and not see an absolutely beautiful animal. I'm now within strike range, and he noticed. Did you see that? As soon as I came close enough, he knew. All right, you want to see me take the hook away? I'll take the hook away. No, I won't. No, I won't. No, I won't. Look at him. He's waiting. He can feel me easing up. God, you're so cool, man. I love this snake so much. And the thing with like most colubrids, you could get away with not using the hook and just control them by tailing them. If they're super aggressive, you wouldn't really have to. Oh shoot, hold on. But yeah, no, these guys can climb over their own bodies. So if I were to let go of the hook and just kind of tail him and let him crawl across the floor, he'd still be able to come up over his own self and come at me. And I don't want that to happen because I don't want to get bit by him. Even though he's not deadly, it probably wouldn't feel good because these guys are chewers. They chew their prey. I'm not sure about getting struck though. Like from the strikes that I've seen, they just kind of let go pretty quick. But hey, who wants to take that risk? There's that head that stays in place while his body moves. That's how you can tell it's an arboreal snake. So beautiful, man. I love him. I love him so much. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Subscribe to AnimalBytesTV for more awesome animal things and stuff. Check out all my social media stuff in this box. And until next time, my name is Jason Miller, and I'll see you next Monday on 5 Weird Animal Facts. Alright, taking him out is the easy part. Getting him back in is the hard part. Let's see how this goes. Come on, dude. Come on. Boom! That was so lame.
My name is Brian Barczyk. I've been working with exotic animals for over 25 years. I'm no zoologist, just a guy with a passion for animals. And that passion often takes me on animal adventures around the world.
This is ABTV.